All right, guys, we're going to start the show soon. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. You set up YouTube, James?
Yeah, will be.
Excellent. You've been doing a good job with that. It's been having an impact, too. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. We'll get rocking and rolling here in a matter of moments. Live on the group, J-Dubs.
Yep.
A lot of folks have been reaching out to me about it not showing up on my Twitter timeline.
As far as we are aware, that is because of Twitter. They seem to be updating some of their API infrastructure, and once that gets done, then the program that we use will have to potentially do some figuring out how to
software
update their stuff.
Like and share the show, viewers and listeners. The Monday edition of the water cooler of content and conversation here in Charlottesville, Albemarle County in Central Virginia. Let us know if there's anything that you find of significance. I found it significant that Indivisible Charlottesville chose to protest the Target retailer again, this time by purchasing a bunch of salt. One item in their shopping carts, some cooking salt.
I don't think everybody got the message, and I don't think Indivisible CVille got the message that Operation Metro Surge ended a couple days before their protest of it
I don't
began.
think anyone knows what Operation Metro Search is.
Well, if you were at Target buying salt, I think it would have been advantageous to know what Operation Metro Surge was.
Judah will let the viewers and listeners know what that is. The UVA Board of Visitors will elect a new rector and vice rector on Friday. That topic on today's show. We will also cover on the program the collapse of Stefan Friedman's restaurant empire and whether that's good or bad for the Charlottesville area economy. The obvious answer is it's terrible for the Charlottesville economy. Does it ease the burden of stress on local restaurants, however, by having less competition out there? And if there's less competition out there, the strong that have survived, do they have a clearer runway of where they need to go or how they can succeed? That topic on today's show. Like and share the show. Like and share the show. We're going to get rocking and rolling here in about 2 minutes. YouTube is good, J-Dubs?
Yep.
Which headline most intrigues you and why?
I mean, this is a pretty great video you got for us, and we've got some photos as well. One person, as I said, seems not to have gotten the memo that you're supposed to buy one small item and then go return it, as viewers will see soon after the show has started.
The crazy thing about this story is, doesn't this just impact financially margined Charlottesvillians that are working at retail Target? Like, how does this actually impact Target, the publicly traded company?
I don't think it does. I think it's an irritation for anyone trying to shop at Target, and it's other than that, I mean, I doubt that Target executives are ringing each other up on Saturday, wondering what we're going to do about people buying salt.
Yeah, Target stockholders and Target C-suite and Target upper management aren't working aisle 6 at the Hollymead Target where 3 dozen Golden Girls choose to purchase some table salt just to return it minutes later.
Yeah.
What is going on? Let's rock and roll when you're ready, Judah.
Quiet on the set.
Welcome to the I Love CVille show, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and thank you kindly for joining us on a Monday afternoon in downtown Charlottesville. It's an absolute pleasure to connect with you guys through the I Love CVille network and our flagship show, the I Love CVille show. A lot of topics we're going to cover. We encourage you, the viewer and listener, to take a look at the screen for the headlines. And these headlines are what Judah and I will cover on the program today. There are some items that did not make the rundown. That's what we call the headlines on screen, the rundown. We'll touch on those briefly at the top of the show. We have some programming notes that we're going to get to here in a matter of moments as well, including Congressman John McGuire in person on the I Love CVille show sometime this week. Congressman John McGuire on the I Love CVille show in person, in studio, sometime this week on the flagship of content and conversation in Charlottesville, Albemarle, across the University of Virginia, certainly the 5th District and the Commonwealth of Virginia. A lot I want to talk about. This flew very much under the radar because of the ICE protest and the collapse of the Stefan Friedman restaurant empire. There is a direct flight that is being discussed connecting Charlottesville Albemarle Airport directly to Boston, and the whole concept behind this direct flight that connects Charlottesville to Boston and Boston to Charlottesville is the support of the biotech industry that is clearly on the cusp of booming in Albemarle and in Charlottesville, and its ties to the University of Virginia. This is as significant of an economic development driver, as significant of a driver of incremental tax revenue, of incremental citizens, as I've seen in some time. AstraZeneca is investing $4.5 billion into northern Albemarle County to build their world headquarters, 600 direct jobs. The average wage for those 600 direct jobs at AstraZeneca, 6 figures plus. There's going to be thousands of indirect jobs. I was told, and was the first to talk about this years ago before COVID, that the Paul Manning Biotech Institute would drive an incremental population increase of somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 people. I stand by that prediction. I was told that information by the people signing the checks to drive the Biotech Institute. So 6,000 to 8,000 people of deep-pocketed means coming to the community. The Boston-Charlottesville direct flight will connect the biotech epicenter of the United States, Boston, maybe the world, and its researchers, its venture capital, its infrastructure, its staffing with Charlottesville and Albemarle, and will basically create a 1-hour flight for folks to commute between both localities. The discussion is that this will drive the economy from a tourism standpoint, from a weddings and events standpoint, from a restaurant standpoint, from a winery and brewery standpoint, from an incremental tax standpoint. What's also not being discussed is I would expect this will also drive Bostonians and biotechnology human capital tied to biotechnology to live and call Charlottesville and Albemarle County their home, because the affordability index, while extremely expensive here in Charlottesville and Albemarle, it's much more affordable than Boston. And if you can just hop on a plane and be in Boston in 45 minutes or an hour, why would you choose to live in that area when it's, I couldn't tell you the delta between housing affordability and quality of life and affordability in general between Charlottesville and Albemarle. But I would imagine that's probably a 2x minimum delta between the Boston metro area and the Charlottesville metro area. Basically, your money goes further. That's a storyline that's not being covered, that should be discussed. And that's what we try to do on the show, is pass along information to you that we find of significance. All right, that did not make the rundown. I wanted to touch on that. A programming note before we thank some of the partners of the show. John McGuire, the congressman who announced on Friday that he's running for a second term, will be in studio on the I Love CVille show sometime this week. We're not going to tell you what day, because the last thing we want is the Golden Girls from Indivisible Charlottesville showing up outside our I Love CVille studio to protest the John McGuire in-studio appearance in some capacity. The Golden Girls from Indivisible Charlottesville did just that This is their second protest of Target. Target is in the crossfire, in their crossfire because of whether it's actual or perceived, manipulated, or reality. Their support of anti-ICE protesters in Minneapolis, Minnesota. To put it in a nutshell, is that safe? I think that's a succinct nutshell, right?
Yeah, very succinct.
Target is ranked number 41 in the Fortune 500 list. This is a publicly traded company. I'm going to offer some insight into the Golden Girls of Indivisible Charlottesville lining up on aisle 6, lining up on aisle 7, lining up on aisle 11 with their Target shopping carts. And the only item in their Target shopping carts is some Morton's table salt. They proceed to go through the aisle 6, 11, aisle 13, aisle 4, cash register, transaction experience, only to take their plastic bags, which they paid 5 cents for. I don't think they get the 5 cents back for paying when they pay for the plastic bags, only to come back to customer service and say, hey, we made a mistake. This Morton's table salt, goodness gracious, our cholesterol is high. Our husband's cholesterol level is high. We cannot eat that salt. It makes our skin swell. We must return this now. I asked the Golden Girls, Blanche and Dorothy and Sophia and Dorothy and who did I miss? Blanche, Sophia, Dorothy, and Rose. How can I forget Rose Nylon? What are you doing here? The only people you're inconveniencing are the Target cashiers, the Target customer support staff that is making $10, $12, $13, $14 an hour. If you think the C-suite or upper management or stockholders are impacted by this in any capacity, you, my friends, are up past your bedtime. And we're going to unpack this on the program today with video footage of Indivisible Charlottesville's Golden Girls protesting Target, including photo footage as well. I'm curious why in this photography that we're going to put on screen here on the I Love CVille show, why they chose to blur their faces. If you're so passionate about protesting something, and doesn't it feel like Charlottesville and Albemarle and Central Virginia are the epicenter of protest of late? I mean, geez Louise, hell's bells. We had protests at Charlottesville High School a week ago. We had protests at Albemarle High School and Monticello High School this past Friday. We had protests in Target over the weekend. From my count, there's at least 4 protests of merit in the last week. You know, I'm all for protesting. I'm all for freedom of speech. I'm all for the First Amendment. I'm all for standing up for something that you're passionate about, that you believe in. I also ask these protesters, do you have hobbies? Do you not crochet? Do you not knit or quilt? Do you not enjoy a cocktail or two at happy hour? Goodness gracious, do you have golf clubs and a golf ball, a squash racket and a squash ball? Do you have a foodie aficionado appetite of any capacity? I don't know, that topic on the program. We're going to cover on the show the collapse of Stefan Friedman's restaurant empire. I'm going to ask this question. You know, it clearly is negative for the economy from a tax collection standpoint. It's clearly negative for the economy for landlords locally. There's 7 of them that now have vacant storefronts. It's actually might even be 8 if you include the Vitae Spirits on Water Street. But I'm gonna try to make lemons out of lemonade or make lemonade out of lemons and say, look, if Stefan Friedman's 7, 8 businesses, and we'll break them down. I think you have a list of the Friedman businesses that have collapsed that you wrote down or you put on the computer somewhere. Maybe you have that list ready to go. Now that they're closed, the lemonade out of the lemons is this. The strong restaurants that have survived Darwinism now have less competition. And the strong restaurants that have survived Darwinism now have a deeper staffing pool to choose from. And that deeper staffing pool means more A-level food and beverage staffers to cherry pick. I want to take a lemonade from Lemon's look at the collapse of the Stefan Friedman restaurant empire today. We're also going to discuss on the program what we learned about the truancy ICE protest from Monticello, Charlottesville, and Albemarle High School. I'm told more protests are in the works for students here in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. I'm shocked about this. that more, actually not shocked. I'm shocked that the schools are going to allow more protest. And I want to highlight some real estate data for you on the program, including Albemarle High School total units sold. We're talking all housing types, detached or attached, new construction or existing construction. Albemarle County, all homes sold in 2025, 17.5% of those homes were $1 million plus. The show is loaded today, as you can tell. We will give some love to Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, Judah, their sister company, Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company. John and Andrew Vermillion are 5 generations strong in Albemarle County. The Vermillion family has lived in Albemarle County for 5 generations. Their family has owned Charlottesville Sanitary Supply for 3 generations. The Vermillions, the founders of Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. They have an e-commerce store where anything you purchase online at charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com is delivered for free, often the same day to your doorstep at price points that are more affordable than the big box brands. We do it ourselves. And their sister company, Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company, is the concierge, the consultant of anything swimming pool related. We have a family swimming pool at the Miller House, and goodness gracious, the water testing, the pool robots, the swimming pool cover, just the quality of life with our swimming pool and Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company is off the charts. Thank you, Vermillions. All right, Judah, studio camera. Then let's weave you in with a 2-shot. You've been eager to talk about the Golden Girls of Indivisible Charlottesville. It's not number 1 on the rundown. Do we want to start there as something that I think deserves a little bit of attention locally? You know what? As the executive producer, we'll shuffle the headlines around. Put the lower third on screen to begin with. The Indivisible Charlottesville, the extremely left-leaning activist group. Michael Payne, the co-founder of Indivisible Charlottesville. Michael Payne recently moved out of the basement of his mommy and daddy's house. He is a 2-term Charlottesville city councilor. And Indivisible Charlottesville was seen yet again, Judah. This is the second rodeo for Kristen Zakos, Blanche, Rose, Sophia, and Dorothy at Target. The first one had Kristen Zakos, Blanche, Rose, Sophia, and Dorothy at the cash registers singing a nice little protest jingle. It had a little jingle to it. We even had Kristen Zakos acting as the maestro or the conductor as the ladies were singing right next to customer service and the cashiers. I found it fairly entertaining. Included a Kristen Zakos out where Kristen Zakos did this. Remember? She went.
Yep, that was pretty good.
To let everyone know that the protest jingle was done. This past weekend, they were in Target again. We have video footage of a protest in Target. I'll set the stage, shall I?
Sure.
We got a couple of dozen of the Golden Girls taking an airline from Miami, Florida, where the Golden Girls lived, and a nice little rancher. Blanche Devereaux, she was so sassy. She was a bit promiscuous, Blanche. And Sophia was always quick to call out Blanche Devereaux's promiscuity. Help me with that word?
Promiscuity.
And Sophia was so sassy with Blanche. And Rose was always kind of like an airhead, but she was a lovable airhead. And Dorothy deadpanned and used dry humor left and right. A lot of people don't realize that Albert Clifford, A.C. Slater, Mario Lopez, before his Saved by the Bell fame, was in an episode or 2 of The Golden Girls as Dorothy, the retired educator, was tutoring Mario Lopez in The Golden Girls. Let's set the stage of what happened this past weekend. Yet another protest of Target. Indivisible Charlottesville, their strategy this time is less jingle and less singing and more purchasing and then returning. They go to the salt aisle, the Morton's salt aisle, and they buy one SKU, one inventory.
Throw some photos up on the screen.
Put the photos on screen, and then we're going to show the video. The video is coming in about 45 seconds. Are the photos on screen?
They are now.
Look at the screen. Why blur your faces?
Let me get to the blurred face.
If you're passionate about what you're protesting, why blur your faces and then post it on your social media? Do you understand the face blur?
I do not.
Like, if you're passionate about the cause, why do you blur the face?
I have no idea. I mean, maybe they think they'll see people that they know there, and some of them feel a little bit guilty about what they're doing. I mean,
what they're doing is against the law. Coordinated protest on private property is against the law. And maybe you're able to gray area protest because you're buying something as opposed to just singing a protest jingle. Maybe that's the strategy with the purchasing of the Morton's table salt. We have the video. Is there sound with the video?
I believe there is.
How long is this video?
It's only like 13 seconds.
Okay, there's 13 seconds of video footage we're going to play here for you, the viewer and listener. Do you have that video ready to go?
Yeah. Cue
that video up with sound if you could, please. And 3, 2, 1. All right. Play the video with me talking over it now. So no sound on the video, and I'm going to be talking over it, okay?
All right.
Let us know when that's being played.
Hold on, okay, it's on loop. And go.
Video on screen, now I'm talking over it. Here you see the indivisible Charlottesville Golden Girls purchasing Morton salt. The strategy is to clog the cashiers, purchase the table salt, and then return the table salt. That is the strategy. Okay. I think one of those purchasers was someone that was giving grief to the I Love CVille network. This is literally on a weekend.
Yeah.
This is on a weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Is this the new hobby? Let's go back to us now. Mm-hmm. Is protesting now a hobby?
If you like salt, I mean, this guy went a little overboard. We got a picture on our screen where a guy decided to go all out, and he's got, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 tubes of salt and 2 boxes.
8 tubes of salt and 2 boxes. That's going to make your skin, your epidermis swell. That's too much salt. Your cholesterol is going to be off the charts. Too much salt. Now, are we back on camera? Mm-hmm. Who does this truly impact? Indivisible Charlottesville protesting in Hollymead by purchasing salt and then returning it. Who does this really, truly impact negatively?
Anybody trying to shop at Target. I mean, if I was pulling my cart around and I came out from an aisle and I'm looking for a register to go to, and all I see are people with shopping carts and a single item of salt in the carts, and I saw groups of them, I mean, I'd be pretty irritated.
I'll say this very succinctly. The only individuals impacted by Indivisible Charlottesville's table salt protests of Target and Hollymead are the hourly waged employees that are working the cashier lines and customer service at Target that day. This does not impact high dollar, extremely well-paid C-suite. This does not impact general manager of the store. This does not impact the stockholders. This does not impact Target's bottom line, 41 in the Fortune 500 list, Target. The only people disserviced, negatively impacted by this protest are the individuals that are making $10, $12 an hour that Indivisible Charlottesville chooses to claim it supports.
I would argue it's not even affecting them, just the people that are trying to shop at Target.
I can assure you the customer service, the person working the customer service desk that has to deal with 37 Golden Girls returning a container of Morton salt, one after the other, is negatively impacted by this.
I doubt it.
How so?
What do you mean, how so? Do you care if you're working at the service line whether someone's returning Morton's salt?
I do if
or-
those individuals are sassy with me, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And in this case, I would imagine the
I mean, you think indivisible CVille protesters are any more or less sassy than your? I don't shop at Target, so I honestly don't know. But if you think that the protesters are more sassy than the average Target shopper,
I would imagine the indivisible CVille interaction with the cashiers and the customer service reps are much more Sophia and Dorothy in personality than Southern Belle Blanche and Airheaded Rose.
okay.
I mean, goodness gracious. As we get off topic and we go to the next one on the show here, we lead with this because we find it hilarious. We lead with this because we see that even in their marketing collateral that they've created for social media, they're choosing to blur their faces.
What I find hilarious, the most hilarious about this, is the fact that it's their stated purpose was to protest. What's it called? Operation Morton Salt. No, Operation Metro Surge. It's got the same abbreviation, but it was announced on, I believe, the 12th that Operation Metro Surge is ended or ending. So I'm not sure what a protest 2 days later is meant to accomplish, but. Go Charlottesville.
Comments coming in the feed. Jason Howard's photo on screen. Jason Howard, I believe, works in retail locally in management. In regards to Target, wouldn't ordering something that had to be shipped to the location, then buying it, and then returning it actually have an impact because of the shipping involved? When you go into a retail store and buy something that's already on the shelves, that is then easily reshelved, it impacts nobody except annoying the staff. That's from Jason Howard. Conan Owen watching the program. He's the owner of Surspedia Central Virginia. Surspedia Central Virginia is a partner of this show. It's a partner of our firm. Surspedia Central Virginia does the signage for our 24 tenants in our real estate portfolio. Surspedia Central Virginia did the vinyl lettering on our studio storefront windows, and the banner directly behind us is a Surspedia special. Conan Owen is a Darden graduate, and his firm, Surspedia Central Virginia, is locally owned and operated. We've had a lot of success working alongside this company because he lives up to expectations and does what he promises firsthand, and I have extremely high standards. Conan Owen, here's my problem with the style over substance of the anti-ICE protest and the latest edition of the Reddit mob roasting of GovSmart. Amazon Web Services is the single largest holder of ICE contracts. Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms that the indivisible Charlottesville types use to show off their protesting muscles and economic purity is hosted by Amazon Web Services. Every time they shop at Whole Foods or order on Amazon, they are putting money in the pocket of Amazon owner Jeff Bezos, who helped subsidize the inauguration, fund the ballroom project, and the man who gutted their beloved Washington Post. Yet GovSmart is the problem, and those of us who defend their right to do business with whomever they choose are called Nazis. That's from Conan Owen, the owner of Surspedia Central Virginia.
Great points.
Connie Sylvester, key member of the Albemarle County Republican Party. Also, a side note, the Albemarle County Republican Committee has a new chairperson. The new chairperson is Philip Reese. Philip Reese is a friend of the program. He's come on the I Love CVille show in the past. He's an entrepreneur. He's a business owner. He's a husband. He's a father. His children are in Albemarle County Public Schools. Philip Reese is chairperson who takes over for Nancy Muir, who replaced John Lowry, the former chairperson, who resigned midterm in surprising capacity. Nancy Muir, the interim chairperson. Now Philip Reese has the baton passed to him. He has his work cut out for him. The Albemarle County Republican Committee clearly must become younger. The Albemarle County Republican Committee clearly must utilize social media and podcasting to get its message out. Okay? The Albemarle County Republican Committee has work it needs to do. Connie Sylvester says this, and everything I said was factual. She says, anyone disrupting a business inside a business should be arrested. The gray area is they're actually buying something here. That's the gray area and the strategy, ladies and gentlemen, for Indivisible Charlottesville, the purchase of something.
I read a great article recently called The Santa Syndrome, Compassion Without Curiosity. And what Conan Owen described is exactly what the article was talking about in terms of people getting outraged and taking it out on the Saturday shoppers at Target while they are continuing to fund Amazon Web Services. And there's compassion, but there is no curiosity. There is no desire to look deeper than the absolute thin surface of any particular problem for a quick way to virtue signal your way to the hearts of Central Virginians.
Kate Shart's watching the program. She's the queen of Ivy. Kate Shartz says this, speaking from firsthand experience, and I'm getting to Kate's comments. The comments are coming in extremely quickly. Kate says, as a former customer service manager at Target, this is so distasteful. The people there at the store are just doing their job and don't have anything to do with this. Mm-hmm. The only individuals impacting by Indivisible Charlottesville's activism and protests are the individuals it claims to support, those on the financial margin. The entire mission of Indivisible CVille is supporting the disenfranchised through activism and protest. But if Indivisible Charlottesville and Blanche, Sophia, Rose, and Dorothy go into Target and protest the local Charlottesville store, the only humans impacted negatively by this are the disenfranchised that are on the financial margin working an hourly wage retail job at floor level, not at management level.
Or trying to shop.
You need to hear that, Indivisible Charlottesville. Jason Noble, watching the program, he asked a very straightforward question that I find somewhat amusing. His tongue-in-cheek comments are funny. Were they at least singing, "Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant." Can you sing that for me, Kristen Zakos, please? All right, next topic, Judah Wickower. What do we got on the show today? Stefan Friedman, how about that?
Stefan Friedman.
The lower third on screen. Do you have the list of the restaurants that have closed? I'll help you with this list on the fly as well. Do you have the list?
Yeah, I've got it.
So Stefan Friedman is the restaurateur that over-leveraged and is behind on payroll to staff. I've had an abundance of staff reach out to me, send screenshots that they're having with Stefan Friedman via text message to me. I've had a number of vendors reach out to me. I've had landlords reach out to me. I've had folks at Charlottesville City Hall reach out to me about Stefan Friedman. Meals tax issues. There's a trail of significant collateral damage. That's why I was disappointed when there was a local restaurant on the downtown mall that seemed to offer a message of support for Stefan Friedman and his struggles. Okay? The husband and wife that own this local restaurant in the downtown mall that seemed to offer a message of support for Stefan Friedman, I won't name because this husband and wife I admire, I have respect for, I've done business with in the past. The husband in particular, I call a friend. I think he's a leader and stakeholder in downtown Charlottesville, a key player in downtown Charlottesville. I just thought his take on his Facebook page was off base. And then, and he admitted in the comment section, and then in direct messages with me that he doesn't know the full story. Guess what? I know the full story.
Yeah.
I know the full story because I have the receipts and the screenshots part of that supply chain. Judah Wickhauer, the list of restaurants that have closed that were Stefan Friedman restaurants, please.
These restaurants were all under the umbrella of A Movable Feast.
Yep,
That
number
was the
one.
name of his company. So he had Ace Biscuit and Barbecue,
Number 1,
Bonnie and Reed,
2,
Draft Tap Room, which
3.
included Omakase Obscura.
nope. Draft Tap Room was...
I mean, not Draft Tap Room.
Vitae Spirits.
Vitae Spirits.
Okay, so that's 3 and 4. Bonnie and Reed, Ace Biscuit and Barbecue are 1 and 2. Draft Tap Room 3. Vitae Spirits is 4. Then you have the sushi.
Omakase Obscura.
That's 5.
Little John's.
That's 6.
Old Metropolitan Hall.
That's 7.
And Wine Guild.
The Wine Guild, 8. So that's 7 businesses. No. That's 8 businesses and 7 storefronts.
Yeah.
Because the sushi joint was operating out of Vitae Spirits.
Right.
It's also been brought to my attention that he also closed the Vitae Spirits that was on Water Street where they had a tasting room. So that's another one that's been brought to my attention that could conceivably be 8 businesses and 8 storefronts. Now, the collateral damage is significant. We're talking meals tax revenue. We're talking less traffic downtown because the reason people go downtown are the restaurants. The music venues in the restaurants are why people go downtown.
Yeah.
We're talking the actual concerns, not perceived, the actual concerns of downtown and the 50-year anniversary of the downtown mall. We're in the 50-year anniversary of the mall now. Okay? We're talking job loss.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 8 businesses. How many jobs? 100 plus jobs easily, right? We're talking the impact on the supply chain, the vendors, the janitorial, the laundry, the food vendors, the awning cleaners, the storefront cleaners, the electricians, the HVAC type, the plumbers, the kitchen maintenance, the draft tap line cleaning, the people that clean the kegerators. The supply chain tied to this many businesses is significant. Insurance providers, right? The landlords. Goodness gracious, it's a significant supply chain, right? Now, what I'm going to try to do, because we take storylines and we unpack them from different angles. Why this show works is it's long-form content. Why this show works is I've been in this community for 26 years. By now, we know just about everybody here. We get on the phone, we text message with them, we FaceTime with them, we meet in person with them, we have drinks with them at the mill room, we have bourbons with them here at the office. We talk to a shitload of people. And because of that, we get information that we relay on air where we always ask for approval beforehand. Can I talk about this on the show? Oftentimes what's happening now, in fact, 90% of the time that's happening now, including the John McGuire interview that's going to happen this week, the people reach out to us and say, talk about this on your platform. That's literally what's happening now. Mm-hmm. They reach out to us, and at that point, when people are reaching out to me and saying, talk about this on your platform, I got to be careful because I got to be cautious of what's the angle that's being played here.
Yeah.
Like the John McGuire, he's running for re-election.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going to catch grief for interviewing John McGuire on the I Love CVille show because it's an extremely left-leaning community. But at the same time, he's a congressman. And this is a talk show, and he's a United States congressman.
And we would gladly invite
Tom Perriello,
any and all rivals to his spot.
Mike Pruitt and Tom Perriello,
anybody
free to
who wants
join.
To come on,
100%. We're equal opportunity commentators. We don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. We don't care if you're Southern Baptist, Jewish, Protestant, atheist. We don't care if you like bananas, apples, or oranges, or you like IPAs, red wine, or white wine. If you have something of merit and you're doing of something merit, we'll talk to you. Okay? So I'm trying to take lemons, Stefan Friedman's restaurant collapse, and turn it into lemonade here. The only aspect of lemonade that I see here is this, Judah. Mm-hmm. 8 businesses closing means Darwinistically, the businesses that are still fighting
right,
now have less competition in this fight we call entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And the businesses that are still alive now have a deeper labor pool to choose from because there's folks out of work. So the existing businesses that have survived or surviving can now pick more of the A-level or B-level staffers and bring them on board.
Yeah.
Furthermore, and people may not want to hear this, when a restaurant empire of this significance collapses, the leverage goes to the business owner. Because there's less jobs out there in food and beverage, which means the business owner that does have the jobs to offer has more leverage over the people looking for work. And that leverage often results in higher expectations and perhaps tighter pay because there's less jobs out there. There's only so many bartending jobs. There's only so many restaurant general manager jobs.
Yeah.
There's only so many restaurant manager jobs and assistant manager jobs. And there's only so many Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night A-level serving shifts and restaurants in this community. And a boatload of them just went away.
Yeah.
So whoever has those jobs to offer now has a little bit more leverage. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to say, it's not my place to say. The people who've passed this information on to me have asked me not to say it. There are, by my count and running list, 9 more very significant, 9 Charlottesville and Albemarle County restaurants that are on the cusp of closing. 9.
Yeesh.
9. Football season and the success of football at the University of Virginia kept a lot of restaurants that otherwise would have closed open.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate writing on the wall was Snowpocalypse 2026, which took an already bleak time, January and February, where credit card bills were due, and made them even more unfortunate.
Yeah.
We have a running list of 9 other Charlottesville and Albemarle restaurants that are on the cusp of closing. So,
Shame.
if we're taking lemons and turning them into lemonade, is the strong that do survive have more leverage, a deeper labor pool, and a larger slice of the pie from a customer standpoint.
Yeah.
I was offering some advice to a very good friend over the weekend. This very good friend is been for as long as I've known him, almost as long as I've known him, incredibly unhappy with his job. Incredibly unhappy with his job. And this very good friend, for as long as I've known him, has shown significant interest in starting his own company. He's got a wonderful wife. He's got 2 lovely children. He is it's a 2-income household, the top earner in the household, and also has the retirement and the health insurance in his household, where his wife, his partner, is self-employed, doing extremely well. Self-employed. So he's carrying a lot of the weight in the household, especially with 2 young children. And he's indicated to me on so many occasions that he wants to start a business. And I explained to him, I offered him this. I've been self-employed for 18 years. 18 years. Waking up, figuring out where the income's going to come from. 18 years. Running and owning a business is akin to this. A fight for a knife in the mud. And if you don't feel you have the personality makeup or the DNA to every day wake up and fight for a knife in the mud, then don't do this. Don't do this. That's the advice I gave him, and it was eye-opening. It's a fight for a knife in the mud. All right. Next topic, what do you got? 45 minutes into the talk show. What's headline number 2? And remember, we've already covered the Golden Girls protest of Tarjay with the Morton salt as their ammunition.
UVA BOV.
Friday, the Board of Visitors will be electing a rector and vice rector on Friday.
Have all of the Board of Visitors members been approved?
Still waiting on General Assembly approval.
Oh, man.
Friday, a rector and vice rector elected.
Wow. I'm surprised they're going to go ahead before approval of all the members.
But are you
Wouldn't that be-
surprised with the entire General Assembly unified in power by one party and the governor as well? The playing field's different.
Yeah, I know.
There's not a
Just-
Republican governor now. It's a
You know-
different playing field, so the rules can change.
No, I don't know about
Redistricting.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I dislike hypocrisy wherever
We all
I find it.
dislike hypocrisy.
We all say we dislike it, and then we do something hypocritical. I try to identify those times when I'm about to do something hypocritical. I also try to look at the side that the side that I'm voting for, whichever side it is, and I try to judge them with the same lens that I judge the other side, so that I'm not going around pointing the finger at the other side saying how hypocritical they are when my side is doing the exact same thing. And I don't know if anybody else tries to do this.
I think
but,
most people try to do that, Judah. And I will say this, and I'll speak on your behalf.
Okay.
You are one of the best people on the planet.
I don't know about that.
I've known you for a substantial period of time. You are genuine, you are kind, you are honest, you're a man of integrity, you're a God-fearing person, you're one of the best people on the planet. If there were more Judah Wickhowers,
Thank you.
if there were more Judah Wickhowers in Charlottesville and the Commonwealth and the country and the world, the Commonwealth, the Central Virginia, Charlottesville would be a better place.
Thank you.
I sincerely
appreciate
mean that. The reality is there's not a ton of Judah Wickhowers out there.
And I think the reality is there are not a lot of people that do a lot of the type of looking internally to identify those moments of hypocrisy.
I will say this. If you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, "Thank you for being a friend."
Is that a line from the Golden Girls?
Yes, it is the Golden Girls themes. I can't get
Theme
over it.
music?
I can't get over Blanche and Sophia and Dorothy and Rose purchasing salt at the Target. All right, that's the Friday.
I can't get over the fact that apparently the Golden Girls is one of your favorite shows as a kid.
Oh, grew up watching the Golden Girls.
I'm sorry.
Golden Girls, Empty Nest, loved Empty Nest, Step by Step, Family Matters, Boy Meets World, Perfect Strangers with Larry and Balky. Such great shows. Perfect Stranger.
Vaguely remember
Alf, Home Improvement,
Alf.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Cheers, The Simpsons, Seinfeld, Friends. Goodness gracious, if Kelly Kapowski was my first love, then C.J. Parker and Baywatch was my second love, then the Tool-Time girl from Home Improvement was my third love. And they just happen to be, at least initially, the same person. Pamela Anderson. That's Pamela Anderson. All right, next topic. Friday's rector and vice rector with the UVA BOV. I would ask this question. Who really, at this point, would want to be the rector and vice rector after seeing what happened to Porter Wilkinson and Rachel Sheridan and Robert Hardy?
Right.
Who really would want to be? I caution all the Board of Visitors members, and Board of Visitors members, watch this program, watch and listen to the show. I would caution any of the Board of Visitors members by saying, why would you really want this job, the rector and vice rector?
Yeah.
You know they're not paid for this. Next topic. What do you got, Judah Wickow?
Next we have. What did you learn?
All right. What did you learn from the public school truancy protest? What did you learn from the public school truancy iced protest from a week ago Monday and this past Friday with Albemarle, Monticello, and Charlottesville, with scuttlebutt that additional protests are on the near horizon? What did you learn, Judah Wickow?
What I learned is that despite the fact that we haven't heard stories of, roving bands of kids in local schools. Apparently, it's still a thing. They haven't really changed anything, it sounds like. You may not have kids, roaming the halls of the local high schools, but they're still essentially in charge, and they can do whatever they want. We've heard from at least one teacher saying that
Lauren Thraves, she issued a statement to the I Love CVille network.
Yeah, that basically when more kids are taking the day off or taking the period off than I think we would like to acknowledge, and that she would rather have all these kids, running around town than sitting in the bathroom smoking or whatever else they do when they're
Smoking the
when
reefer,
they're, when they're
the
skipping,
hippie lettuce,
when they're
puff
skipping
past
class.
the green, the shrubbery, the chiba, the marijuana, the Mary Jane,
Yes.
the cabbage, the greenery, the
Or
landscape.
just vapes and cigarettes.
Vaping is just does not
Beside
have
the
the same
point.
je ne sais quoi of ripping the flower.
Alrighty then. Well, that's good to know.
Just being straightforward. This is what we learned. This is what I learned. The statement that Lauren Thraves issued to the I Love CVille network on Friday showed the entire world the inner workings of Albemarle High School, the largest high school in Central Virginia.
Yeah.
She, on the record, very much explained that there's...
Call that on the record, but
How's that not on the record? She said, I'm an Albemarle High School teacher. My name is Lauren Thraves. This is what's happening at Albemarle High School. How is that not on the record?
I don't think you can take a comment on Facebook as being on the record.
I 1,000% respectfully disagree with you. When someone who has a platform of influence, merit, that is media-based, which the I Love CVille platform certainly is, one that has a following that is more significant than all of print, radio, and television combined, has commentary all last week about protests at Albemarle High School that is going viral in the community. You saw the virality. And then a teacher jumps into the comments that are public and on the record and says, my name is Lauren Thraves, I'm a teacher at Albemarle High School, and here's what is happening. That is, without question, publishable, quotable, legitimate, and on the record. Any newspaper, the Daily Progress does this. TV stations do this. They often quote businesses, brands, and people of influence in what they post on social media. Anyone that's watching and listening to this show, geez Louise, did they not learn this in the comments section of the Charlottesville Police Department Facebook page? In the Charlottesville Police Department Facebook page comment section, under the announcement to be cautious a week ago, because hundreds of Charlottesville high school students were walking ice and snow-covered streets in the middle of oncoming 45-mile-an-hour traffic amongst Ram trucks and G-Wagons and Subarus and Priuses and Volvo SUVs to protest ICE, to be careful that there were kids truant and skipping school and protesting because they believed in a cause and not because they wanted to get out of a trigonometry exam. In that comment section, people were popping off, threatening these kids, and then the police department said, we're going to investigate these threats, as they should have, because it's today's water cooler. Facebook is today's newspaper. And there's no larger megaphone than what we're doing here. I'll be very straightforward. And when Lauren Thraves basically said, this is what really struck me from her statement, what I really learned from here was this, that there are a significant portion of the Albemarle High School student body that are not in classroom, that are roaming the hallways, that are extremely behind grade level, and that administrators and teachers have no way to enforce truancy or skipping school, that these kids are just socially promoted from one grade level to the other, and that Albemarle High School teachers, in particular Lauren Thrave specifically, are actually in favor of these kids not being in the classroom, roaming the hallways, or skipping the school, because at least it does not negatively impact the kids that are in the classroom. That is literally what she said. I would encourage any viewer and listener to go look at the Lauren Thrave's comment on my Facebook page from last week. Mm-hmm. It was stunningly honest.
Surprisingly.
She was
mind-blowingly honest.
Stunningly honest what she published. And this is the second day in a row that I commend Lauren Thraves for her transparency, her honesty with her commentary. How many words was it? It was 600 plus words she published.
656 or
at like
something
3 in the morning. Yeah. She published it.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
It was stunningly honest with what's happening at the public schools locally. Mm-hmm. You should read it.
Yeah.
We should just, you know what? After the show, screen grab that on the Mac and let's turn that in. In fact, do this now before she chooses to delete it. Can you go to my Facebook page, screen grab it? I actually have the screenshots.
I've still got them.
You got the screen? Screen grab it in totality if you can and turn it into a individual post on the I Love CVille network, and then syndicated.
I've still got them right here.
Syndicated across all platforms so people can read this stunningly honest explanation of what's happening at Albemarle High School. Do that today. Make sure this afternoon, the headline should be this. Are you ready for this? I'll give you the headline. Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
All right.
Stunningly honest statement from Albemarle High School teacher on the state of Central Virginia's largest public school. That's the headline. Stunningly honest statement from Albemarle High School teacher on the state of Central Virginia's largest public school. That should be the headline. And then do 2 sentences.
On the state of...
Stunningly honest statement from Albemarle High School teacher on the state of Central Virginia's largest public school. And then write 2 sentences that just basically are the who, what, when, where, why of what she said. Like 600 words from Albemarle High School teacher Lauren Thraves, who published this at 3 in the morning about the state of Albemarle High School, the largest public school in Central Virginia. And just put the screenshot in there and let everyone read it. That's what I learned about what was going on. I didn't learn anything about the protest. I didn't learn anything about the protests and how they were handled.
Right.
I didn't learn anything about the influence or impact the protests would have. I didn't learn anything about the X's and O's of the actual skipping school and truancy. But what I learned from Lauren Thraves was something I did not know. And the rest of the community should hear it and read it.
Another thing I learned is that the local schools seem to think that putting out a brief statement absolves them from any lawsuits that might pop up should the unthinkable happen and a student get hurt while away from school. And I'm pretty sure that none of those statements that they've put out would protect them if something bad had happened.
Sorry, I'm responding to a comment from somebody who's saying I'm making excuses for Stefan Friedman. Did she hear what I said? How am I making excuses for him? I'm explaining the lemonade that comes from this lemons. Jean Marie, I'll get to your comments here in a matter of moments. If we could do this for the viewers and listeners, there's 3 dozen comments or text messages or DMs that have come in the last 3 minutes about the Lauren Thraves comment and people wanting to read the statement.
You want me to put it on the screen?
They won't be able to read it on the screen. Let's turn it into an individual protest. It's 600 words. They're not going to be able to read 600 words on the screen. Let's turn this into, can we have the statement up? It's 1:30. Can we have it up on ilovecville.com by 2:30 p.m.? You have the headline.
Probably, yeah.
You have the headline. You have a profile picture, and then the statement. Montage some artwork, into a hero picture.
And just use the top of the
Montage, I would go profile, like we did with the Richard Spurzer, homeless shelter montage. Do it just like that.
Okay.
You could do Almora High School, a picture of Almora High School,
Right.
and then her profile picture in there. All right, next headline. What do we got? 1:30. I got a 1:45 phone call with a client here. I'd like to give some love to Stanley Martin, if we can do that, Judah. Stanley Martin Homes. You ready for this? They're a partner of the program. They're doing some, and I got some real estate language. Let's get the Stanley Martin partner call to action message on screen, if we could, please, sir. A partner of the show. Their reputation when it comes to building speaks for itself. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanley Martin is dedicated to building homes that cater to each person's unique needs and lifestyle. Stanley Martin's high-quality single-family homes, townhomes, and condominiums are designed and constructed with innovative techniques that ensure exceptional efficiency and aesthetic appeal. Stanley Martin uses design features and technology to enhance your living experience in your homes, not just today, but for years to come. An honest partner, Stanley Martin Homes. Last topic. Let's get to Jean Marie's comment here. She says this about Stefan Freeman. Jerry, why are you making excuses for Stefan Freeman? She says he sucks at running restaurants because he doesn't know when to fold. Instead, he decided to gamble with his employees' money. If he had any integrity at all, he would have known that you must shut down when you're looking and having to resort to using payroll funds and a predictable failure just to stay afloat. My friend owned a restaurant and it did fairly well until it didn't. The moment he saw the writing on the wall that if he kept going, he wasn't going to be able to pay his employees, he closed the doors for good. He gave his employees their last paychecks and a small bonus to help them get by, shut down permanently, and then paid off all the other bills. This is how a decent human being does things. There is never an excuse to expect that it is all acceptable to do what he's done. Only a scumbag gambles with other people's money. He played with his employees' lives and as a failure and ripped off his own team. Yeah, we know that. Isn't that what we're saying?
Did I miss you making excuses for him somehow?
I never made an excuse for him. The extent of what I said was I'm going to take lemonades and turn them, lemons and turn them into lemonade. And the only lemonade out of this thing here and the collateral damage is the restaurants that are still alive have less competition and a larger employee pool.
Right.
That's the end. That's it. All right. Next headline. Can you put it on screen? Have we done a good job? Is this the Almora real estate headline?
Yeah, 17.5%.
All right. This is a tidbit that is a conversation starter. Are you ready for this? In 2025, last year, in Almora County, there were 1,504 units sold. All housing types, new construction and existing, detached and attached. 1,504 units sold. Of those 1,504 units sold, 259 of them closed at $1 million or more. And that represents 17.5%. 17.5% of units sold in 2025 in Almora County were $1 million or more. And I can only assure you that in 2026, that number is going to go higher. And wait till AstraZeneca and biotechnology is fully online. Just wait for it. Other headlines, have we covered them all?
I don't think we've covered quite all of them yet. Well, yeah, I guess basically we have, unless you want to mention John McGuire being
John McGuire in studio this week on the I Love CVille network. A sit down with the congressman.
Eyes and ears peeled.
This week on the I Love CVille network, Congressman John McGuire. Giddy up and get ready, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have the 3 most important minutes of news to get to.
Yeah.
Tell me when you're one-shotted, and I can set a timer. I don't think I've gotten this under 3 minutes yet.
No, I don't think you ever have.
All right. One of these
Someday.
One of these days, Jim.
Someday.
One of these days I will get it under 3. It's got a nice little ring to it. The 3 most important minutes in news, does it
Yep.
not?
All right. You are one-shotted.
All right. Don't start the headline yet. The clock. Tell me when I'm one-shotted here, because I'm actually reading the headlines for the 3 most important minutes of news from the live stream.
You can read them on screen now. You're up there.
Okay. Whew, I can't catch my breath over here. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. On Monday, February 16th, my name is Jerry Miller, and these are the 3 most important minutes of news for you. Let's start, ladies and gentlemen, with the collapse of Stefan Friedman's restaurant empire. This is collateral damage of significant proportions. We have 8 vacant storefronts and 8 businesses that are dragged in the wake of Stefan Friedman's financial malpractice. There are 100+ employees out of work, landlords behind on rent, vendors who have been unpaid. The downtown mall has more vacancies, the most important 8 blocks in the region. Tax collections are down even further. If there's any lemonade to be made here, is the existing restaurant owners, the ones who have survived, the restaurant owners who embody this quality, this statement, life is a fight for a knife in the mud. They have less competition and more employees to choose from for their respective businesses. That's the only lemonade that can be made here. More market share and a deeper employee base for the restaurants that are still fighting and kicking. Next topic, the University of Virginia Board of Visitors will elect a rector and vice rector on Friday. I ask the Board of Visitors this question: why would you want to be the rector and the vice rector after seeing what happened to Rachel Sheridan and Porter Wilkinson and Robert Hardy? Regardless, a new rector and vice rector will be elected on Friday. Next topic. What did we learn about the ICE truancy protests with public schools last week? For me, I didn't learn much, except for one thing. Albemarle High School teacher Lauren Thraves issued a statement to the I Love CVille network that we will publish very soon on ilovecville.com. We encourage you to visit the website ilovecville.com and click on Lauren Thraves' statement. It is stunningly honest, her statement, where she explains that there are a significant portion of the Albemarle County High School student body that are truant and skipping school. All the administrators and teachers know about it, and they do nothing about it because this student body, this portion of the student body that's choosing to skip school, they're just going to be socially promoted, and by not being in the classroom, it's not going to impact the curriculum or the education or the learning of the kids that choose to sit in seats and read chalkboards and listen to teachers. Stunningly honest from Lauren Thraves. You'll find that statement on the I Love CVille network before close of business Monday, February 16th. Another tidbit that I want to highlight, might as well show the video, Indivisible Charlottesville. Give me a thumbs up when that's on screen. Indivisible Charlottesville is an activist and political group founded by Michael Payne, co-founded by Michael Payne. It's on screen. Look at the screen. Largely made up of white women, generally made up of white older women. They protested Target over the weekend. They chose to purchase salt, Morton's salt, and then went through cashier lines and then came back at the Target to return the Morton's salt, because their concept of protest of Target in Charlottesville at Hollymead was the disruption of retail operations by clogging up aisle 9, aisle 11, aisle 13, aisle 2, and by making a stand against the autocracies and disgusting behavior in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Indivisible Charlottesville. Don't eat too much salt. It'll make your skin swell. Next topic, Albemarle County in 2025. There were 1,000 504 units sold, all housing types, existing and new construction, detached and attached. Of those 1,504 units sold in 2025, 259 of them, or 17.5%, sold at $1 million plus, $1 million or more dollars. 17.5% of the units sold in Albemarle County in 2025 were $1 million or more. I want to remind the viewers and listeners that John McGuire will join us on the I Love CVille show sometime this week, the congressman who's running for re-election. And that's the 3 most important minutes of news for you on Monday, February 16th. Doesn't even come close to checking into 3 minutes. I try my best. For Judah Wickower, my name is Jerry Miller.